What's going on, everybody? Listen, I know you guys have seen my face a couple of times today, and that's cool. Listen, I'm enjoying myself. Listen, I'm not in Atlanta right now. I take some time off from the city, just getting just a change of scenery, change of space, and also at the same time get some work done. I want you to know, listen, it is Fearless Friday. It's been Fearless Fridays. It's been Fitness Fridays. Listen, today and right now, we're going to bring it in. This is going to be informational Fridays. So all about marketing your business, marketing yourself, positioning yourself and your business to be seen in the most appropriate way. And I got my family, my brother, my friend. I really appreciate him, Mr. Blamah Sarnor. He's coming in, CEO of Web Collaboratives. He's going to be sitting down and chatting with us on the couch on the importance of having a marketing plan or just having strategy, period, of getting your business out there. How can you run a successful business without a marketing plan? I was looking at this movie back in the day. I can't remember the name of it right now, but the guy, the guy was tripping me out. I think his name is Orlando. He was co-starring with Mr. Eddie Griffin, and they was in this restaurant, and the guy wanted a Coke 45, and the dude said, "We don't have any malt liquor." He said, "How can you run a successful business without any malt liquor? How can you run a successful business without a marketing or business plan?" And so we got the master himself that's going to be joining us here within the next couple of seconds after my illustrious theme music. Then the next voice you're going to hear is Mr. Blamah Sarnor with Web Collaboratives and talk to us about some marketing strategies. It's happening here on the couch, K's Couch. Hey, Blamah, what's going on, man?
Hey, Rav, how you doing, brother?
Hey, listen, we are living and alive today, man. I'm glad to see you, man. I'm glad to see you here, man. How's everything? How's everything going with you?
Man, I'm glad to be seen, man. That's a blessing. Every day you're alive is a blessing, brother.
Listen, man, before we went live, you and I have been having great conversations, but we talk all the time, man, and we have we encourage each other, man. You spark fire underneath my thought process every time we talk, and I'm so grateful for you, man. I am so grateful for you, man.
Likewise, brother.
I just really am, man. And so today, real quick, I know time is money for you. You got a couple other meetings that you got to go to, and I got a couple more myself. But I want to talk just briefly, just kind of tap into your thoughts a bit, man, and just kind of share with us some information a little bit on just marketing, man. You are a digital marketing person, business strategist. You're a CEO of a awesome, successful company, man, where you got clients that you're teaching, consulting, you're schooling them, letting them know the different strategies they need in order to go from 0 to 60 in the best place possible, man. And I want to tap in on how important is it, bro? How important is it to have a marketing plan for your business?
It is absolutely critical. It's absolutely critical, man. You gotta have a plan before you go out in the marketplace. You gotta know the terrain. You gotta know what your plan of action is. You gotta know what you're doing and why you're doing it. You gotta have ways to measure what you're doing so you can optimize it. What you don't measure doesn't grow. But if you don't even have a plan to show, you don't even know where you are.
Oh man. I love that, man. You got to have a plan to show. But if you don't have no measure to grow, we got to make a slogan out of that some kind of way, man. We got to get a slogan out of that, man, because you got so many so-called people that are out here that are so-called business professionals, but they're not marketing their businesses, or they're not really segregating the time or putting away the finances to make sure that the marketing strategy is there. And then, they look good, but they're not, and they look the part, but they're not fully being the part, or being fully well-disciplined CEO in order to get this business out here, man. And this is kind of, how I want to segue into the next question that I wanted to ask. Like, how often, man, how often do you see many so-called business professionals
Mm-hmm.
without a plan, but
Mm-hmm.
they desire the outcome as if they had a plan? How many people you see like that on a daily, man?
Too many. Unfortunately, I mean, I've seen small. I mean, obviously, a lot of solopreneurs, small businesses. I've seen bigger companies. I've seen companies that have been around for years, well-established companies that are manufacturing companies, companies that are in older industries that if you would think with the type of revenue, the type of income they're bringing in, that they
Mm-hmm.
have these things in order, but they don't. They really don't. And so it affects you. What happens is when you don't have a plan, when you don't have a strategy in place, you really become a victim to disruption. So,
Wow.
one of the taglines we have is we help to bring digital clarity in a time of disruption, right? Why is
Mm-hmm.
that important? Because if you don't have a plan, you don't have a strategy, when things change, as they will, as
Mm-hmm.
platforms change, as they will, as technology will advance, as it does,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have principles and things in place to know what you're doing and why you're doing it and how you analyze what you're doing. You don't know what you're doing isn't working because you don't have a plan in place to actually try to measure it, right?
Wow. Okay.
That's
Okay.
how a lot of companies are. That's why a lot of companies are getting left behind. They're still spending a ton of money on television advertising that is not really bringing in results. They're
Right.
spending a ton of money on newspaper and magazine ads that's not really bringing a ton of results. They're
Right.
not really doing a lot of their due diligence of understanding, hey, what's the plan? Ultimately, what is our goal? Who are we targeting? Where are they? Where are they spending the most time? And why aren't we there?
Mm.
So your audience, they may be on TikTok, they may be on LinkedIn, they may be on Facebook, they may be on Snapchat. They may very well be on Spotify. Oh, whoa,
Mm.
Spotify. What? Wait,
Wow.
yes. Okay, see, so this is what I'm talking about as far as having a strategy, understanding your target market, understanding who you're speaking to, who you are, what you represent, what you present to the marketplace, what you're bringing that's different, what's your unique selling proposition, and how to communicate that, how to communicate it clearly, what mediums to try, which mediums to test, which ones work, and how to scale. So if you don't even have the basics in place, like you said, just going out and doing things and say, okay, hopefully I get this result. I say the roads of good intentions usually lead to nowhere, right?
That
We can have
is
the best
so
intentions,
right.
yeah, but it doesn't mean it's gonna matter because the most successful businesses are the best prepared businesses.
I love it, man. I
Yeah.
love it, man. And you're absolutely right, man. And I love what you just said. And you have the best businesses are the best prepared businesses, and you have to be prepared, man. As long as you got that start, you can really build on what you have if something comes up. But if you don't have that start, then how can you really position yourself to be protected from what's to come if you ain't even tried to dig in? So it's very important to not just, I know people used to talk about, yeah, fake it till you make it. And some things you just can't fake, man. There's some,
That
some
is the
things you
truth.
just can't, some
That is
things
the
you
truth.
just can't fake. I
Well,
mean, you just got to be ready, you know.
brother,
I,
that is it.
go ahead, Sammy, go
No, no,
ahead.
no. It's so funny you said that. So like I laugh at this all the time because if you look at it in the digital world, you look at social media and things like that, that's prevalent. You'll see people, they
Wow.
present themselves as life coaches and they have not lived a lot of life, right?
Wow.
So you're like, wait a minute, how are you gonna have it? You're a life coach and you don't even have it doesn't add up.
Wow.
What is
Oh my God, that
it?
is amazing, man.
It's
I've seen that a lot too, in
yeah.
a lot of established places of worship where you got a lot of people who are leading who haven't stood that test of time or had the tenacity or the life experience, man, to really, really lead a flock. You have to be. You cannot fake, man. It's just certain things you just cannot fake, bro, because with the business, you now have quote unquote a certain type of ministry that people are trusting you to lead them
Mhm,
to some sort of promised land of being
mhm,
seen and also
mhm,
earning capital. So you
mhm,
cannot, you cannot as a business owner as a CEO. Even, and my dad always talked about when I was in church, God bless, my father, Bishop Kerry Rivers, when we was in church and he's a pastor, when the word of God goes forth, the word of God cuts into the audience, but it hits the person too. And I speak for myself and the experiences I've had. I cannot fake being a boss or fake on being what it is I say I'm going to do, because I have customers, I have partners, I have you like yourself as a creative writer who's partnered with Standard Magazine. I can't be out here faking it, man. I can't, because too much is riding on this. Too many people are following me. People are looking at growing higher and going strong in their business and in their mindsets. A lot of times based on what it is you decide to do with your business and yourself. So there's a lot of things, man, we just can't fake. So
look, I'm going to add on to that. You're going to love this, and you're following.
I'm listening, bro.
So there's a process. Everything there's a process, right?
Okay, yeah.
I know one of my favorite basketball players, of course, is Michael Jordan, right?
Gotcha.
You talk about how many practice shots you see him hitting a game-winning shot, but you didn't see how many practice shots he took. You weren't with him in the gym. You weren't seeing him working. You were with him when he was working on that. He was working on that fadeaway. He was working on that up and under. All of those layered time of practice, it equates to something. So in the business, you can't avoid the process.
I love it, man. You cannot avoid the process, and you're absolutely right. I love that, because I've said so many times, family, so many times in the music world, I've seen so many guys, so many people, they flare on chops, but don't know the music. When it's time to play the music, they don't know the music thoroughly, but they know how to chop real good. They know the great solos, great lines, but don't know how to play the chord music. And so, and a lot of times, a lot of people, not just that, they may play in transpose. So that means transpose means they're transposed the sound to the chord that they know how to play, or the structure they know how to play, but don't know how to really go all across the ivory keys. I've seen that, man, in life. I've been there before in my past situation until I had to really learn. So the process you cannot go over. That's with anything, and you're right.
You don't want to, and you don't want to, because think about it like this: there are many businesses that scaled too quickly, and then they failed.
Wow!
Why? Because they didn't have the systems in place to continue to handle the demand.
Wow!
So you see where I'm going. So
I know where you're going.
Yeah. So you see a lot of stories that they seem like they're overnight successes. They weren't overnight successes. When people they talk about like Mark Zuckerberg, for example, we're on we feature on Facebook, right? So that's a great example. Mark Zuckerberg, he was the boy wonder, right? They're like he created this great platform like Facebook. Guess what? Do you know how many years Mark Zuckerberg put into coding? He's been coding since he was a child.
Wow!
It's like he's been at his craft for years and years, and the circumstances and the environment happened to be at the right place in the right time.
Yeah,
that Facebook was able to take off. Right, the right idea, the right place, the right time. Bill Gates, same difference. Steve Jobs, same. These guys, they got certain skills. Whether it was whether it was Bill Gates and he was growing up, he gets access to computers because his father's a professor, right? early on, and he's a child prodigy, right? That early access give him the ability to dream, give him the ability to explore and try and test different things. He had a different vision of the marketplace and the landscape of the marketplace that gave him the nuance that he needed to bring forth Microsoft, right? So that's what's necessary. So in the business, it's very short-sighted for us to think we can just go out there and do these things without actually going through the process and say, okay, look, this is my business. These are my goals. I need to put in place a plan on how I can get there, And if you don't know what they are, bring somebody on, bring an expert, bring in a coach, bring somebody on like that. My favorite example from the Bible is King David. David, before he became king, right? What was he? He was a shepherd boy, right? And guess what? Before he was king of a nation, he had to be a shepherd that was faithful over the sheep, right? Okay, he's a shepherd boy. He had to protect the flock, right? Guess what? Lions, bears. Then next thing you know, he's facing Goliath. Guess what? There was a preparation time. He had to go through those battles early, and then when he got to the big stage, he was prepared. Then he had to go through another journey of being on the run,
Yep.
you know, and still staying humble and still staying honorable and still restraining himself as a king, showing mercy, right? And having patience. There you go. So there's a process and everything.
Bro, and you know what? I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna pull this out because we could talk about everything. But as you talked about David, and as you talked about how he went through his process, but through that process, a lot of times people would try to get you to wear their ideas. King Saul tried to get him to wear his outfit to face that Goliath.
Yes.
A lot of times you cannot be but you can't be afraid to be yourself in this process. You cannot always take upon somebody's stuff because it works for them. But it didn't work for him anyway, or them, because he didn't even have on his own outfit. He didn't even want to use his own outfit. He didn't even want to go. So
listen, listen. Look, you just hit something so important there, because I'm going to riff off of that. Listen, so this happens all the time in business. You will see somebody on television, you see their path to success, right? Like, wow, I want to do that. I'm going to try to do that thing, right? That may not be your path.
That is so true, family.
Okay.
That is so true. That is so true, man. And that's what it exemplified with Saul and David. But when you use that example, that's how we got to be in business. You cannot be afraid to be yourself and go your own path, because so many people are trying to go certain ways without making the mistakes. You're going to make the mistakes. You're going to get to the place to where that, the idea might not work, but you got to still keep going, man. And I, again,
bro, the key thing there, the key thing is awareness.
Okay, then say it again.
Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. The key thing is awareness. So everybody listen to this. This is the key. This is the hack. Awareness. Okay, there's so many people that are running businesses, that have careers, that have jobs, that are living their life. They are not aware. They're not aware of the stage and season they are in life. They're not aware of the stage and season they are in their business. They're not aware of their SWOT, right? We call SWOT strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. What are your strengths, right? Maybe your strength is like Carrie. You have a dynamic voice, right? You're great on camera. You're comfortable working with guests. You're comfortable delegating and organizing a team and putting together a platform. Okay.
Thank you.
Maybe that's your strength, and if that's your strength, you got to recognize, okay, where are my opportunities to leverage those strengths? It could be communications, it could be media, right? It could be leveraging platforms like Clubhouse. It could be leveraging platforms like Facebook. It could be leveraging tools like StreamYard, right? Getting your voice out there, getting your vision out there, right?
Right.
But others, it could be different, right? And then, but you don't want to be like David. You want to be aware. David was very keenly aware of who he was, his identity, and his strengths. He said, look, first of all, I'm a child, right? I'm still young, right? And look, this armor, it's going to slow me down. My strength is, look, for one, the Goliath's going to underestimate me, right? I'm quick. I got this slingshot. I'm good with this. I got God on my side, right? So that's supernatural. That's supernatural speed. That's supernatural power. I use a slingshot. I'm going to hit the job before he knows what hits him.
I love it, man.
That's how a company like Facebook comes out of nowhere. That's how a company like Apple comes out of nowhere. They understand they're a startup. They understand their strength. They can move quicker than bigger companies like Compaq. They can move quicker than IBM. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how marketing strategy comes in.
Wow, man, bro, this is an awesome segue to what I need to ask of you here real quick. Last question. So with all the conversation and the information that you've given us, the awesome experiences that you've had, the collaborations that you've done with people, conversations you and I have had, things that you've helped me with, things you've seen me through, and others that I know you've done. So how can Web Collaborative, put a business where they need to be? How can you help us do that?
I think the first step is awareness. I think that's it. So every business we start with an audit. We do an audit. We ask qualifying questions to understand where you are, help you to see where you are. And going through that process, it's a 15, 30-minute call. We start to identify strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And then we can put in place a plan and say, hey, look, again, you might need some help with your social media. Maybe you're a solopreneur, you just don't have time. You have a business, you know your stuff, you know your craft cold, right? But you're like, man, have time to be on social media. I don't have time to be doing this. And you're just posting messages. You're unaware that on social media, it doesn't work to continually promote, sell. You got to nurture. You got to provide value. You need a content marketing plan. You need a team to implement that. And you need a team to also to manage the community, right?
Absolutely.
Because social media gives you an interactive database, whereas email gives you a static database, right?
Absolutely.
So it's a complete different approach. And so we'll help you put in place a plan and say, hey, look, these are services that you need. You can do it yourself, we can do it with you, or we can do it for you.
Wow.
Those are the 3 ways we can work with. Those are 3 ways we work with our clients.
I love it, man. I love it, man. And you guys are amazing. I've had the privilege of working with the team. I've had the privilege of actually seeing you work with others and produce for other people. And I must say again, man, I'm happy and I'm honored that you and I are connected. But just to see how you've handled yourself, to get this information, to share with people, family, you had to sacrifice a lot. Some weekends, some activities that you wanted to do. Even today, maybe you wanted to take a nap, but you sacrificed sleep, not being able to do a whole lot of things, man. And so, for that, I want to thank you, because without your sacrifice, without your hard work, we wouldn't have the product or the prodigy or the person that we're talking to today, man. And I want to give you, thanks for that. I want to thank you for just really being the CEO that you are, the business person that you are, and the the mind and the spirit that you are, in order to just have the time to show businesses the way, show them to the land of milk and honey of their business, the promised land, so to speak.
Yes.
I really appreciate you sacrificing that, man, because without that sacrifice, there will be none of the businesses that you're doing. There will be no web collaborative. There will be no no pushing or no team to really take these businesses to the next level. So I want to thank you. I want to take my time to thank you for that, bro, because it is you that made those decisions to create what you have with your team. And with that, man, you've added another blessing to the world, bro.
Man, I appreciate that, man. Like my thing every day is, to fulfill, the things that God has put on my plate to be faithful to. And and with every transition, with every shift in my life, I want to do my best to be faithful and be a faithful steward of those gifts and those tasks He's given me. So I really appreciate that, man. That really means a lot to me.
Absolutely, family. It's the truth. It's definitely the truth. We couldn't have this conversation without your sacrifice. Businesses couldn't have the digital marketing plan and strategies without your sacrifice, man. And that means the world, whether they recognize it or not. I recognize it, and I thank you for that. You just got to know you matter. Your mind matter. You matter. Your spirit and your perspective matters. So without that, bro, there will be a big void in the universe, man. Without that. So you just got to know that, family.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man.
Absolutely, family. So we're not gonna hold. Just one quick tip before we go for a business person. Quick free tip. The rest they got to subscribe to Standard Mag.
Yeah, to get the rest. You got to subscribe to get the rest, man. Oh man. One quick tip, I guess, and this is a really good one. Don't assume. Okay, we talked about having a marketing plan. The reason why it's important to have a marketing plan is because you're not assuming. You're actually going through the process. You're doing the audits. You're doing things you need to do to identify the gaps and things like that. Don't assume. One of the worst things you can do is approach a marketplace if you're a business and say, okay, I got this widget, or I got this product, I got this service, and you haven't done something as simple as doing some market research. You waste a lot of time, or not leveraging others' market research, right? That's another way you can do. You can take advantage of that. And you're going to a marketplace and you're providing a service, and you think you're providing a service, but you become an echo among other voices, right?
Wow.
Yeah. Don't assume. Test your hypothesis. I like to think of business almost like a science. It's science and art. It's a combination of both. Don't assume. Test. And then when you think you got it, test some more, right? It helps with everything that you do marketing-wise. It helps as far as product development, everything that you do. You don't assume. Go to the people who are your prospects, who are your clients, and ask them, hey, look, is this valuable? What is the biggest challenge you have in your business? What's the biggest challenge as far as maintaining the knowledge gap as far as your employees, to make sure that they're on the cutting edge so you are successful? ask these questions, and it's going to inform and improve your product, your service, and your ability to connect.
Wow. I love it, man. Like, bro, again, thank you for your sacrifice, family.
Yeah.
Because without that, we wouldn't be able to be taught that we don't need to assume and we need to always to be aware.
Yes.
It's just almost like going to an AA meeting.
Awareness and assumption, bro. Oh my goodness.
Dude, that's it. Go to an AA meeting, man. So if you teach on awareness,
AA meeting for businesses as well. That should be the next section.
Let's do it.
What are assumptions you've made in your business that have cost you hundreds and thousands of dollars potentially in your marketing and your business development?
Man. I love it, man. I love it, man. So we're gonna wrap it up. I know we got things to do, but family, again, it's always a pleasure for just you being here and being available. Just hang out with me 2 minutes after we shut down. But listen, Kouch and people that are listening, those that come back and look at the replay is just as powerful as the on live. Listen, don't assume, always be aware, and if you're looking for a great digital marketing strategist, listen, consultation with Mr. Blamah Sarnor with Web Collaborative. You can find them on Facebook. You can find as Blamah Sarnor. You can find them on Instagram, Blamah Sarnor, and you can get him on LinkedIn, Blamah Sarnor. Reach out to him, talk to him, let him share his subject matter expertise with you. To get your business from where you are at ground level to 0 to 60 within the next little while, and he'll have you there. He'll coach you, talk to you. He will hold your hand. He'll be right there with you. I promise you, man. Anything else before we head out, man?
Man, if there's anything else I think I want to kind of leave everybody with, it would be identify your superpower. Talk about awareness, about don't assume. Identify your superpower. Even if you're in the early stages, like I talked to a young entrepreneur. He was like 21 years old, right? And we were just talking. I was like, identify your superpower. I was like, first and foremost, you're a purpose-driven entrepreneur. I was like, that means you're a story. If I talk to you, that tells me you're a storyteller. So we're talking, and he started telling me his reason he got into business and what he wants to do. I was like, you're a storyteller. So tell your story, and as you continue to use that superpower, you identify other parts of your gifts. So continue figuring that one piece out and continue. If you're a great speaker, speak, share about your business. If you're great on camera, you're charismatic, get on camera. If you're great writing, if you're more of an introvert, but you really are great as far as isolating and crystallizing your thoughts, write. Wow. The sooner you get as far as working your gifts, the sooner you will get opportunities that are going to help to expand your world.
Wow. Listen, man. Again, audience, www.standardmag.com, standardmag.global, standardmag.global, and I need you guys to subscribe. The subscription link will be available online. Also, we need you to check out Blamah Sarnor. This is the man behind a lot of the digital marketing pieces that you will be seeing more of with Standard Mag, with SM Live, and a few other things. We actually just did a huge collaboration right before we came on live. So we're getting ready to do some work. And it's really we're really about to take it to the masses. And I'm excited. So again, my motto, love life and live love. You only have one, and you enjoy it. And listen, it's been fun on the couch, K's Couch, and we'll see you guys later.
All right, guys.
Yep.